Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is a chemist session. Here we are discussing about the chapter air and its constituents. So in the earlier sessions we have seen the different constituents of air on their preparation methods, their properties and even their uses and some important pollutants which are causing us harm, how to reduce them, the alternative methods for controlling these pollutions. These all concepts we have learned in the earlier sessions. Now we are going to say a practice sheet related to this chapter. Okay, now we are going to see practice sheet 1 based on this chapter, which includes completely conceptual understanding questions and single correct answer type questions. So first let us go through the conceptual understanding questions. See the first one. Green coloring matter of plants is called. What is it called? The green color matter in the plant's leaves, which helps in the preparation of their food. Yes, this green color matter, in the presence of this green color matter, the carbon dioxide absorbed by the plants and the water taken from the roots will be combined chemically in the presence of sunlight and they prepare their food. That chemical substance, that green color pigment, that green color matter present in the leaves of the plants is called chlorophyll. I think you know this? Chlorophyll. Metals react with oxygen to form. What do they form, metals? Metals will burn in the presence of oxygen with different colors. Metals will react with the oxygen. They form respective metallic oxides. These metallic oxides are basic in nature. So we can call them basic oxides. Metals on reaction with the oxygen, they form metallic oxides. Okay, basic oxides. Next, the name nitrogen was proposed by. Who proposed this name nitrogen? Yes, he was J.A. Chaptal. Nitrogen was named with that name by J.A. Chaptal, who showed that air as a mixture and many gases. Who shown that earlier it was thought that air is an element, air is a single substance. But later on, Anthony Lavoisier done some experiments on this air and he proved that air is not a single substance and this air is a mixture of so many gases. That was Anthony Lavoisier. Anthony Lavoisier proved that air is a mixture. Okay, the major component of atmospheric air is, what is the major component of atmospheric air? Around 78% of atmospheric air by volume is nitrogen. 78% it is existing in atmospheric air. So it is a major component. Next to that, there is oxygen, of course, around 21 percentage. The major component is nitrogen. Air is a, what kind of substance is this air? Air is containing so many gases mixed in it and they won't combine chemically. They're physically mixed. They can be separated by using physical techniques. So air can be called now as a mixture. Air is a mixture. Non-metals react with oxygen to form. What do they form? Non-metals, they react with oxygen, they form respective non-metallic oxides. These non-metallic oxides when dissolved into water generally they form acids. So we can say non-metals react with oxygen to form acidic oxides. Okay, non-metals on reaction with oxygen they form acidic oxides in general. For example, if you see carbon, carbon when reacts with oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide on dissolving into water forms carbonic acid. So in this way, this non-metallic carbon oxide is an acidic oxide. Not only this, generally non-metals on reaction with oxygen they form acidic oxides. Metals they form basic oxides in general. Okay, acidic oxides. Next, who discovered nitrogen gas? Who discovered the nitrogen? He was Daniel Rutherford. Daniel Rutherford discovered this gas, nitrogen, but he called this gas as, what is he called? Inactive gas. Because this nitrogen is being very less reactive. It is not participating in generally normal chemical reactions at normal conditions. Because that we know why it is so. Because of its stable configuration that we are going to learn later. But at normal conditions, nitrogen won't react with other chemicals generally. That is why he called that gas as inactive gas, and he called that as azote also, because in the presence of this nitrogen the living things are not being grown. It won't support the life of the animals plants. That's why it is also called azote, non-supporter of life. That's meaning. But later on the name nitrogen was given by J.H. Aptal. Okay, now the discovery of nitrogen was done by Daniel Rutherford. Next, carbon dioxide gas turns lime water. Actually, this is one of the tests which we use to prove or identify as the gas taken is an carbon dioxide. What do they do in the test? They will pass this colorless gas on the lime water. Lime water means chemically calcium hydroxide. Okay, slaked lime or lime water we call that. So when you pass this carbon dioxide on slaked lime or lime water, that reacts with that chemically. Lime water means calcium hydroxide. It reacts with the carbon dioxide and form calcium carbonate, which is an insoluble solid substance, and it will float all like a thin layer, that is a milky layer. So we can say lime water turns milky in the presence of carbon dioxide. That milky layer is because of the formation of calcium carbonate, which is an insoluble solid substance. Okay, now we can say carbon dioxide turns lime water milky. Got it? What is the reason for the formation of that milky layer? That is because of the formation of calcium carbonate. Next, carbon dioxide is dash in nature towards the litmus paper. We know carbon dioxide, when dissolved into water, it forms carbonic acid. So what will be the action of acids on litmus papers? We know litmus papers turn blue litmus to red. They will change the color of the litmus from blue to red. So carbon dioxide also will show acidic properties towards the litmus paper. That means it turns blue litmus to red. Acidic character. Next, who discovered carbon dioxide gas? Who was that? Yes, Van Helmont. Van Helmont discovered carbon dioxide gas. Next, the amount of water vapor present in the air is called. What do we call that amount of water vapor present in the air? We call it as moisture or humidity. The amount of water vapor present in the atmospheric air is called moisture or humidity. The percentage of carbon dioxide in the air. What is the percentage of carbon dioxide? Actually, see the first one. It is of which gas? We know 21% is of oxygen gas by volume. The next one 78% is of nitrogen, isn't it? So this 0.03% is the percentage of carbon dioxide in atmospheric air. Actually it is being 0.03%. Of course this is of noble gases we know. So 0.03% carbon dioxide is present in the atmospheric air by volume. The gas responsible for the depletion of ozone layer. What is this ozone layer? Where it is existing? In the atmosphere, there are different layers. The layer which is very nearest to the Earth's surface, where we are living, and where these all gases are present, is called troposphere. In this troposphere only, all the gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, these all gases are being existing, and hence the living things are able to survive in this troposphere only. The next layer of atmosphere, the two troposphere, is a stratosphere. In this stratosphere, even though the living things are not able to survive, but there existing certain gaseous layer. That gas is called ozone. So the main purpose of this ozone layer is it will protect us from the harmful radiation emitted by the sun. Actually, sun emitting different kinds of radiations. Out of those, there are certain harmful radiations also, like UV radiation, ultraviolet radiation we call it. So if it reaches the earth directly, the living things in that area will be affected and they'll get severe diseases also because of that. But it is not happening because that ozone layer filter these harmful radiation. It will reflect back these harmful radiations and it will allow only the radiation which is harmless to us, that will reach that surface, so we are able to survive. So that is a major importance of ozone layer. But what is happening nowadays, we are using so many electronic appliances like micro ovens and refrigerators, ACs, air conditions, these all we are using. From these electronic appliances, certain gases are being released out which are called chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons means simply they are called CFCs. CFCs. So here, this is CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons we call them. So these gases they do not mix with other gases and they do not dissolve into water also. The water vapor present in the atmosphere they won't dissolve. So what happens then? As these gases are being lighter, they move up and up in the atmosphere and reaches this ozone layer. There they will react with the ozone and they change into other chemical form. Now in that area, ozone will be disappeared, their holes appears in that ozone layer. Through that holes, this UV radiation reaches directly the Earth's surface and those people and living things living in that area will be affected by these harmful ultraviolet radiations. Now the point here is this ozone layer is being depleted or being damaged by the gases called chlorofluorocarbons. That means simply CFCs. Okay. Next, who discovered the noble gases? Here, two great scientists they have discovered these noble gases in the 19th century. They were William Ramsay and Lord Rayleigh. These two together they have discovered these inactive gases present in the atmosphere. Those are noble gases. So who are those two? William Ramsay and Lord Rayleigh. So here we get both A and C. Next, single correct answer type questions. Let us see here. Rusting of iron takes place due to the presence of. Yes. How iron articles get rust? If we keep iron articles certain in the outside for few days or few months, then after few days we observe certain brown color powdery substance formation on the surface of these iron articles. That is rust. This is formed because of this reaction of iron with atmospheric oxygen in the presence of moisture. So, to get rust for the iron particles, oxygen and moisture, these two are needed. So, oxygen and water vapor in the air, these two will help the iron to in becoming rust. So the chemicals or the substances needed for the rusting of iron are oxygen and water vapor. So for controlling rust, we have to keep these away from the iron by different methods. So composition of air, how does it will be? Whether it changes or fixed. We know the composition of air will be varying from one place to another place based upon the conditions in that place. For example, if you say forest area, in the forest area we know there will be more trees. So they absorb a large amount of carbon dioxide and hence pure air will be available, nitrogen and oxygen. The quantity of oxygen will be more in that area because plants release oxygen gas. But if you observe in the places where factories and industries are more, those industries and factories they release so many harmful gases, polluting gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide. These all gases will be produced more. So in that area, the composition will be different. In this way, the composition of air varies from one place to another place. Okay. Next, the chemical formula of calcium carbonate is calcium carbonate is commonly called limestone or marble. It is the carbonate of calcium. It can be given the formula CaCO3. Where is it? Yes, here. The CaCO3 is a chemical formula of calcium carbonate. Next, identify the gas which is odorless, colorless, and supports combustion. Actually, there are so many gases with no odor and no color. Because if you say nitrogen, carbon dioxide, oxygen, water vapor, these all are having no odor, no color actually. But they are given one more hint here about the gas, that is, it supports combustion. In the atmospheric air, only one gas is there which supports combustion. What is it? Yes, it is oxygen. Oxygen is a odorless, colorless, and supporter of combustion. In the presence of this oxygen gas only, most of the fuels are being burnt. For the combustion of almost all the fuels, oxygen gas is necessary. Next, the element which can react with oxygen to form basic oxide is generally we know metals on reaction with oxygen they form metallic oxides which are basic in nature, and non-metals react with oxygen and form non-metallic oxides which are acidic in nature. If you see in the first three options, carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, these on reaction with oxygen they form non-metallic oxides which are acidic in nature. For example, if you see carbon, what will it form? On burning in the presence of oxygen, that form carbon dioxide which is an acidic oxide. If we see sulfur and phosphorus also, they also in the same way they form sulfur dioxide and phosphorus pentoxide respectively, which are acidic gases because they are form acids on dissolving into water. Okay. Next, if you see sodium, sodium is a metal. This on burning in the presence of oxygen, it forms sodium oxide, which is a basic oxide. Okay, so metals like sodium will form basic oxides. Next, which gas is released by plants during photosynthesis? What is photosynthesis first? This is the process of preparation of food by plants in their own by absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and water from their roots through from the soil through their roots. These two, water and carbon dioxide, will mix in the leaves in the presence of a substance called chlorophyll, and there in the presence of sunlight, these two will combine and form their food in the form of glucose. Along with the food, certain gas will be released out. That gas is oxygen. Oxygen is released by the plants during photosynthesis process. Air contains a little quantity of. We know the quantity, the percentages of oxygen and nitrogen, these two are major gases. And the percentage of carbon dioxide is 0.03%. And in the rare quantity, noble gases are present like neon. Okay, neon is present in the rare quantity. The overall percentage of these noble gases is 0.9%, but in that the quantity of neon is less. Which gas is released out during respiration of animals? Which gas is being released by animals like human beings? That is carbon dioxide. They animals they will take in oxygen gas for the digestion of food in the process of respiration. So by that they release out carbon dioxide gas. Okay. Next, the percentage of noble gases in the atmospheric air is, yes, just now I have told the percentage of noble gases in the atmospheric air is around 0.9 or 0.94 percentage, whereas 78 is for nitrogen, 0.03 percent is for carbon dioxide, and 21% is of oxygen we know. Okay. Next, carbon dioxide gas is, some properties of carbon dioxide are given. Identify which is correct regarding that. Carbon dioxide is heavier than air. Yes. How do we say whether it is heavier than air or not? So there, the heaviness of the gases is compared based upon their vapor densities. The vapor density of a gas is calculated by taking the formula molecular mass by 2. We know the molecular mass of carbon dioxide is 44. No worry, how to calculate these molecular masses we are going to learn in the higher classes. So molecular mass of carbon dioxide is 44, and if you divide that with 2, we get it as 22. So vapor density of carbon dioxide is 22, whereas the vapor density of the atmospheric air is considered as 14 or 14.4 it is taken. So by taking the average of all the gases, it is found as 14.4, the vapor density of normal air, whereas the vapor density of carbon dioxide is 22. See how heavier it is. So carbon dioxide is a heavier gas than the atmospheric air. Okay, so if you take carbon dioxide gas into a container, we can pour that carbon dioxide just like a liquid down. If you bend the container, slowly carbon dioxide reaches the floor because it is heavier than atmospheric air. Okay, next, in photosynthesis processes, the catalyst is, so the substance which is helping for the photosynthesis process in the plants is chlorophyll. So in the presence of chlorophyll, water and carbon dioxide react together and they form food. So this is happening in the presence of chlorophyll. So it is considered as catalyst. Next, which gas is used in the fire extinguishers? Yes, we know the gas which won't support combustion and which is a little heavier. That gas is used in fire extinguishers. That is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide gas is used in the fire extinguishers. Next, the chemical formula of glucose is, yes, this is formed in the photosynthesis process as a food for the plants. That is C6H12O6. Okay, this is the formula of glucose. Next, the gas which protects the earth from UV radiation. Yes, we discussed in the earlier questions about this gas which is present in the second layer of atmosphere, that is ozone. This filter that harmful radiation like UV radiation coming from the sun. So only harmless radiation reaches the earth's surface. That is why we are able to survive. That gas is ozone. Okay. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel AIMS Today for latest updates and recorded videos.